Currently, I am associate with IBM. So during my non-working hours, I do take care of online training programs. Is that clear for you? And coming to my background, before I got into SAP, I was the same like into sales like you, where I was the South India sales officer, where I used to handle the sales of AP, Chennai, and Coimbatore. And prior to that, my academic background is triple MBA. So, as triple MBA, that is into marketing, insurance, and systems, triple specialization. So, with the background of marketing, I started my career in sales, and then I started my career in SAP with SD model. Is that clear about my introduction? Okay. Now, when you speak about SAP, you got to understand what is SAP. Okay, thanks. Okay, when you speak about SAP, you got to understand what exactly the product is into. First of all, the segment in which the product comes into. So SAP is one among into ERP industry. So for example, the product SAP falls under ERP industry. Now, the moment when I speak about ERP, it stands with enterprise resource planning. That is, according to the resources provided by the entrepreneur, the infrastructure need to plan. So today, in this developing world, every company prefer to go by implementing an ERP product to maintain their database. Earlier, companies were using an IT-based products where we used to develop the product to maintain a database on C, C++, .NET, etc. So they all are the programming-based infrastructure where nothing is available in ready-made in nature. It's like a blank book you write as per your preferences. So ERP is something like it's like a templates. Okay, we have like application, like you just fill in all the fields according to priority. So writing up scratchly from as per your requirement, that is something different. Making up the information in a particular template, that is something different. So a templates, when I organize, it is very easy for the user to maintain. A blank format, when I give, it is time consumption and dependency will be very high since it's a programming base. So just a rough understanding I'm giving difference between the IT and ERP. So the products which all fall under ERP industry, they are ready-made in nature. The term itself is very clear. According to the resources provided by the entrepreneur, the infrastructure need to plan. That is a key motive of ERP products. So there are so many products of ERP in the market. Microsoft Dynamics got it, it's an ERP. Oracle, it's an ERP. PeopleSoft, it's an ERP. JD Edwards, it's an ERP. Likewise, SAP is also one among the ERP. Now, as there are so many ERP products available in the market, among them, why SAP is number one? Why every company prefer to implement SAP? This is the first and foremost thing one need to understand before he start learning about SAP. Clear? Now, when I say a company is SAP implementing, you name a department that can be compatible in SAP. But for example, assume that a company prefer to go with PeopleSoft. So PeopleSoft is an ERP which is only strong in HR services. So a company can go for HR implementation. If I go by Oracle, the companies can go with the finance and Oracle apps implementation. So Oracle is strong in database resources. PeopleSoft is strong in HR resources. Microsoft Dynamics is strong in CRM resources. But SAP is not strong by any module. SAP itself strong by a product where all the modules come into picture. So when you speak about SAP, he is not saying SAP SD is strong, SAP FI is strong, FIP MM is strong. No. The industry says SAP is the healthiest a product which got, you name a solution, it got a reply in that. So one of the biggest software among the existing IT industry and ERP industry is SAP, and one of the vast resource in which you maintain the entire infrastructure of the company, that is SAP. So in short, if I say once a company purchases a SAP product to implement, they no need to look out for any other product to maintain the database of their company. Is it clear for you? Okay, great. So still we have much more discussion on this. Just a base understanding where as a product SAP stands in the market and how the companies receive the feedback of SAP when they go for implementation, and how the companies feel after the SAP implementation has been done what they speak in the market. This is just understanding point of view I given. So blindly you can say, it's not I who says, you can say search in the Google. We have a magazine called SAP AG, which is every quarterly release magazine. Okay. Why you're worried about now that? First I'm starting with the base understanding. See, for example, okay, SAP is the only industry where we require the domain experts. A person who don't have experience, he is not encouraged, or he cannot understand the SAP product first of all. So the more domain you have, the better understanding you can on the project, and even the companies prefer to have a domain experts. Okay, so for example, you work in an a company like FMCG, company like consumer durable, company like what you say, textiles, company like electronics. So Camlin comes under FMCG. Yes. So having a such rich experience, obviously your experience will be having a very rich weightage among the people who are attending for interview. So having a person more than 6 years of experience, they will be considered as a domain expert. So definitely industry looks out for a profiles like you, where within no time you can easily get a job. Clear? Where if you speak about mine, I was also a similar background of yours only, but not a part of Camlin, some other consumer durable product experience. So it took a very, I can't say it is very, I got a job very easily, but my experience was considered, I was being given an opportunity everywhere wherever I applied. So my skill set made me to win a job. So your background makes you to win an opportunity, your skill set makes you to win a job. Simple. Clear? Now SAP itself stands for Systems Application Product, which is purely meant for maintaining the database of company. So any company who implement SAP, it is for database maintenance, but not for any other purpose. For example, by using an IT products, say Java, for example. Java is an IT product, where I can use the Java product to make an infrastructure. I can use the Java product to make a movie. I can use the Java product to make a game. It can be multi-user, because how you write a code, the application is developed. But SAP is a pre-developed application which is customized. So remember the over customizing. We never create anything in SAP, we only customize. What exactly customizing mean? When something is ready-made available given to you, you are molding it according to usage. So SAP is a product which is ready-made available when selling with all the applications. We the consultants will customize the applications according to the client business needs. So for example, now Camlin is the company which is SAP implemented. Okay. Now when a consultant is implementing SAP into a Camlin company, so he's not creating anything for Camlin. The product of SAP got all the applications. Those applications are customized how the applications need to be executed as per the Camlin company needs. So it's we, the consultants, who need to understand the client's infrastructure and customize the applications according to them. Is that clear? Roughly. Now the best example I can give, you purchase a new mobile. You purchase a Galaxy. Yes. Now I am also using a Galaxy phone. So what all the applications I use is not must, you should use it. So you are customizing your mobile with ring volume, screen resolution, okay, shortcuts, softwares, okay, and add-ons as per your needs, and I'm customizing the Galaxy phone as per my needs. So we're not creating anything over here, we are customizing. So SAP is also same like that. You learn here in the sessions, in the training program, you learn how to customize the entire sales department for a company into SAP software. That is your knowledge. Tomorrow when you appear for interview, what is the knowledge, what you learn, okay, what you worked. For example, if you approach as an experienced guy, you say that you worked in one full implementation. So what you might have done in one full implementation. Now can I know your academical background before you got into the job? What was your academic BCom? Okay, fine. Now when you join a job very first day, you don't know what to be done. Yes. So you have been given a training program where understanding about the products in the market and no, I'm not asking. It's okay, fine. What I'm saying, when you join your first job, Canon, okay. So when you join a job in Camlin, you don't know anything about Camlin, yes? You know Camlin as a product which is available in the market, but you don't know about the infrastructure, how they are organized. You don't know about the territory which you have been assigned. You don't know about the product catalog and the tariffs, cost of the product catalog, and etc. So until you have been given a presentation of how and what to be done, you are not able to start up anything, yes? The same way in SAP also, I know the entire SAP implementation process. I can implement SAP into any company. When I got an opportunity to implement SAP into Camlin, I don't know anything about Camlin. I know as a crayon, which I'm using, which my kids will be using. I know as a fabrications, which I'll be using in painting. So I don't know about the infrastructure until the client Camlin come forward, the senior sales manager who comes and introduces himself to the SAP consulting team, and he gives all the inputs of his company, how they are located, where they are located, how they are addressed, and what are the product catalog they have, what are the pricing schemes they have, okay, how they reachable to the corporate clients, how they reachable to the institutional clients, schools, colleges, etc., and how they are reachable to the general sales like distributor, dealer, and the outlet sales. So at every stage they have a different approach. So in the system, when I take the reference of the respective segment and run a transaction, system should respond with the respective price and the delivery features and the billing system. Okay. So this all I need to understand, organize it on the documentation that need to be framed up into SAP. This is the job of consultant. So still we have better things to understand. Let me move to ahead. So SAP itself was started in the year 1972 with a company called SAP AG with 5 key IBM engineers. So they are the initial people who was working on the IBM mainframes, who was not satisfied with the limited resource available, covering all the barriers. They came up with SAP in the year 1972. So initially it was a single system architecture. Okay, this needs a participation. Once we start our regular session, I'll detail explain about the R3 architecture. Just make a note of this. We'll work on this. This is nothing but your system landscape, which is nowhere required during the introduction because this is not a part of the module. Only how the infrastructure. We'll see once we have a voice communication clearly available in the future session. We'll work on this. Now they are the key people who are known as the founders of SAP. Now before I go with the regular sessions in future, I prefer to know, to update my training. So for example, given a chance he joins a job, what he will be doing. Say, what are the various stages of a project. So for example, when I say you are a person who is working in the sales, if I ask you to explain how the sales process flow, then you start speaking about the beginning of the sale, like you identify a prospect and that will be converted to the customer, then that customer will be given the product knowledge and convinced to buy a product, then negotiation comes into picture, then the quantity, how he's preferring, then the delivery system, then you deliver the product to the customer, then you raise the bill. Once he receives the delivery, he will make up the payment. This is what the various stages of the sales. What you speak, if I ask about how the sales flow in a company, can you justify a sales transaction? This is what you speak, yes. But if I ask you, say that how the implementation goes on, in order to implement SAP into a company, it takes not less than 1 to 1.5 years of time. So when I said I'm involved in SAP since 2004, 2005, I worked in so many implementation projects, support projects, rollout projects, etc. These are the various stages of the projects. When I speak about implementation, it's like starting to begin. I was there right from the day one of the SAP implementation was started till the SAP implementation was done. So it's all one full cycle, we'll say. Support project means if a project is already, say Camlin for example, Camlin is implemented SAP already long back. Now they need a consultant to support whenever they have any problems. So we work on the support services, troubleshooting. So and rollout is something if the Camlin identifies a new area. So for example, now Camlin product identifies a new business segment in Middle East. So he want to upgrade the infrastructure of Middle East into SAP system. So it's a rollout project, new add-ons. Or Camlin introduce a new fabric, new product. So that need to be updated to the entire infrastructure in the system, like pricing point of view, like selling point of view, like dealers point of view, distributors point of view. So entire new wing is been organized in the same company. So rollout, that means you are upgrading the infrastructure. So any project you do, it got certain framework to be organized. We have a development stage, we have a testing stage, finally we have a production system which will be used by the user to work on it. Clear? Now here you can see the first stage is development, the second stage is testing, and the third stage is production. This is internally, but externally if you see, totally we have 5 phases. Okay, those 5 phases are nothing but, see here, yes, first we have a project preparation where we understand what is client, that is what is Camlin. Camlin is a company which is into manufacturing of all the fabrications. Okay, and based on that I need to prepare a business blueprint. So for example now when I as a consultant of IBM got an opportunity to implement SAP into Camlin, what do I know about Camlin? I know Camlin as a product. Do I know Camlin as infrastructure? No. So it's I who need to interact with the senior most sales manager of Camlin and gather the infrastructure resources, that is where they are located, how they are reachable to the customer, that is how many dealers are there, how many distributors are there, how many retail outlets they are maintaining, how many company-owned outlets, how many franchises, what are the products they have, what is the product pricing tariffs they are following, okay, which price is applicable to the wholesaler, which price is applicable to the online customer, okay, what kind of a sales system they are running, how they are maintaining the inventory, where they are having the chief stockist, where they are having the manufacturing plants, how the warehouse system is organized. This all I need to understand. Yes, you understand what I say? So business blueprint consists of all the details of the infrastructure which I'm going to frame up, and based upon my understanding and my data gathered and documented, that is based for me to customize into SAP system. So until we come up with the documentation, we can't start up implementation. So for example now the very first moment when I interacted with you, I was very particular about what is your background. Until I know your background, if I start speaking, it's like dancing in front of what you say, snake charming, like, okay, he can't understand anything, or I can't understand anything what is going on. So the first first interaction with the client would be understand his infrastructure, how he's looking out to be maintained, to be updated into SAP, and gather all the resources, then cross-check with him. Okay, say now here the third state, first I understood, then I gathered and documented, third I need to realize, say out of my understanding what all I gathered, it is not must, it should justify your requirement. So until I cross-check with you, you give a clarity, then only I can start going in implementation. Got you? So for example now you've been to a hotel, okay, and you've been to a hotel for a lunch. Until you make understand the preferred recipe to the chef, he can't prepare it and serve it to you. Though he start making a note of the recipe, you will be giving the spices how it need to be organized. So until he understand it, he can't prepare it better. Until he prepare it better, he can't serve you better. So you need to, and the chef need to cross check with you about this is what you're looking into. Until you, yes, you say yes, done, this is what I'm looking into, then he prepares and serves you. It sounds good for you and for him also, because the preferred one he got, the preferred one you served. Clear? So realization is the stage where we the consultants come to a conclusion, what I understood and gathered is sufficient enough to justify the client requirement. So in order to reach this stage, it takes almost the half of the duration of the project, because technology is in my hand. and I have the pool of consultants who will be working along with me. It's not I alone. I'll be having not less than 4 to 5 SD consultants in the project. So I'll share the entire project into the team, and I'll customize it within no time. But until I know it what to be customized, it takes a good time for me to understand what to be customized. Clear? So realization is the stage where we come to a conclusion what client prefers, what I gathered is sufficient enough to justify, and we come up with some suggestions. So for example, is it sufficient enough? If not, some add-ons to be, if not, something to be deducted. So is has to be, okay, the gap analysis will come up across all these stages. Now what you're seeing, these 5 stages are at the higher level. Detailing, they got substages of many, but we'll discuss future as we go on a regular base. Now if I speak also, it won't be understood. They are a little bit different in terminology. Just to make you understand how it appears, I made a simple presentation over here. So once I conclude what all to be customized, I start customizing entire infrastructure into SAP product. Then I move all the customized infrastructure to the testing system, where like SD consultant, finance consultants will be there, consultant, materials management consultant will be there. So every consultant will be customized with their own infrastructure, will be passing out these all stages, and move the customized infrastructure to the testing system. Here we do the integrations, SD, SD, FI. Okay, once I do the integration, what happened? I sell a product to sales department, sales application. The inventory department application should come down with the stock, and the finance department application, the GL account should be getting updated in terms of payments. Whether this is all happening automatically or not, I need to check it after I do the integrations. That is the strongest tool in SAP. Okay, integrations. So once I test it how it is performed by running up a performance test, finally I'll move to the fair new system, which is called as production system, and that will be handed over to the client, that is Camlin, where they'll be using it to maintain the database of their infrastructure. If anything goes wrong, I'll be serving by support services. Got it? So it's we the consultants who will be implementing the entire SAP into our client business. It's we the consultants who will be training the employees of the company, that is Camlin, how to use it. So we prepare the end user training manuals also. That is also part of a consultant job. Okay. Depending upon the experience, the roles will be given. A person who have 8 to 10 years of experience, he will prepare the blueprints. A person who have 6 to 8 years of experience, he will prepare the documentation. A person who is just a fresher, or who is just an person with 2 to 3 years of experience, he won't be interacting with the client, he won't be preparing the documentation, he directly customizing it. See, customizing is known to everybody. So we get the requirement and we'll give to the junior levels, and they start customizing it in the system. Got it? Is it clear? How the implementation process goes on, what stage, what activity? Clear? Now here, what all I spoken till now, this all belongs to the sales department. If you're SD consultant, you understand the infrastructure of sales department and you customize it. So everyday session of ours will first have a PowerPoint presentation like this about the topics what I'm going to train you, which speaks over the sales department, with the scenarios of the life of what I experienced during my projects. With some case studies, I'll show some customizing in your system in the server, I mean say. So where you can go through those practice sessions, where I'll be giving you the privilege of the recording the session on your desktop, where you can record the session, okay, and play it like a movie after the session has been done, and get clarified how what was the topic and how it was done. And once the server access is given to you, you can start practicing on your own system. That's how the training program is organized with me. Is it clear? So hope as an introduction point of view, what all has been made you understood, that was clear. See, roughly it takes, if we go Monday to Friday, okay, it takes roughly 2 months of time, okay, because at a stage Monday to Friday, seriously, if you're working 1.5 hours a day, I need just give me a minute. Now normally duration takes 2 months of time in some sessions, 1.5 months in some sessions. Okay, that is the maximum durations. Clear? The duration we can't commit because sometimes the server may not, sometimes I may not be available, sometimes you may not be available, sometimes the application will be. So duration will fluctuate. Okay. That we can see, duration we can speak when you call, so that how we prefer to organize we can make up, and I can give the clarity how many classes I can make up. Okay, I taught in SAP in 3 days. Okay, that was a requirement. We made it. Okay, so yeah, I understand. See, this is all very common in the sales department. We'll be having what we say, the even I forgot the terminology. Okay, you got to go to your territory. Okay, where it may be a remote places. So you just inform me 1 or 2 days before, so we can have that class adjusted accordingly. No worry on that. Okay, and even though if I'm taking up session to other guy on the day when you're not coming in, I'll be giving those recordings to you. Okay, where you can go and reorganize yourself by going to recordings, and we can I can organize a separate session for you for making you understand what exactly that was if you have any doubts. With that way we can do it. So regarding that, you just ignore it. We can help you out. See, now here my given deliveries of the subject of SD is not only restricted to the SD module. When I say my trainee appears for interview, he can easily justify 3+ years of experience, because with SD I'll be training you some of the critical areas of finance, MM, WM, because I cover all the integration process. So when you have one full implementation experience, definitely you can speak beyond the module. So easily you can make up a 3+ years of experience. Okay, so you have 2 years of experience. From past 3 years you're working in SAP. That will be your approach after you're done with the training program. That level I can tune it to you so that you can make up your own performance. Clear?